Welcome, everyone, to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about the ups and downs of dating and how to navigate through it. Today, my guest is Joan Nwosu. Did I get that right? I know we
Close enough.
rehearsed. She's a Toronto based dating and relationships coach and creator of the Second Chances Accelerator program, dedicated to empowering divorced women over the age of 40 to find love again. Joan, how are you? And thank you so much
I'm
for being on People on Dating.
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Such a pleasure to be here today.
No, no, it's my pleasure. So, Joan, tell us a little bit about yourself. What was that? What was that aha moment that got you here to today? You have an ebook that we're going to talk about. You have a podcast. You have a YouTube channel, coaching. You got everything. So, how did you get here to today? What was that journey like?
Yes, thanks, Phil. So my journey was not, I wish I could say I had a fairy tale romance journey. I did not. Today I do have my fairy tale partner and I had my fairy tale relationship and it's all great. But it wasn't how I started. I went through a very interesting divorce. I say interesting because I don't like to label things good or bad. It's just what
Yeah.
happened. And it took me a while to realize and to take ownership of the role that I played in that particular marriage. And when it
Mhm.
came down to it, it was just a matter of us being incompatible. Look, when I was in my early 30s, all I wanted to do was get married. And a lot of us who went through first marriages, it was just that you get married and things will kind of work itself out. And then
Right.
we get in and we find out that nothing's going to work itself out. And if you're incompatible, then chances are it's probably going to end in a divorce. So I went through a divorce, and you would think that right after my divorce, I learned my lesson. I'm going to be better at picking men. No, I
Uh-huh.
went on to have a series of worse, I call them worse relationships than my actual marriage. And I just felt myself spiraling downwards instead of getting better. And at some point, I had to stop. I got to a moment where here I was having a miscarriage. I was pregnant at the time for my ex at the hospital, middle of the night, alone. And I'm thinking, how am I here? I've been through a divorce, I've been through a couple of toxic relationships, and now I'm here in
Yeah.
a hospital, cold in the middle of winter, all by myself, about to have a miscarriage. I knew it was dropping, I could tell.
Yeah.
And it was at that point I said, God, if I get through this experience, this is it. I'm going to go figure out what it is I'm doing wrongly. It's got to be me. It can't be all those people. It's just me making the wrong choices over and over again. So after that, went through the miscarriage, ended that relationship. I took a break. I took a pause and said, okay, let me go figure this thing out. Obviously, it's not common sense because if not, most people will not be getting a divorce. My parents didn't teach me because they didn't know any better. They just
Mm.
probably just tried to figure it out on their own. My parents were divorced at the time anyway. And so I went through a personal transformation, and it involved me healing, first of all, hiring coaches, going through therapy, just trying to really, really get to the bottom of what the hell was going on?
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult for me to find a relationship? And after all of that process, took a couple of years to be honest, I went on to have better relationships. And today I have my dream guy. So
Yeah.
that's that. So at that point, after going through all of that, I said, you know what? I know a lot of women who are like me, who've been through a divorce later in life, still not able to date properly, I'll call it date properly, making the same wrong decisions, ending up in the same toxic situationships, and still heartbroken and cannot find their man, their dream man. The truth is there are beautiful, amazing people out there. They are available, but there's just something missing. So that's what I help my clients with.
No, that's a good story, and sorry about your miscarriage. So, and it seems like, Joan, you took accountability, which a lot of people, men and women, don't do. They always blame the other person.
Because it's
It's
easy.
their fault. It's oh, it's them. But yeah, exactly. But we, as a man and as a woman, we choose those people. So we don't. I think a lot of it. And tell me if I'm wrong. If you do take accountability, at least you could like try to find out what I did wrong. I know I did that 4 or 5 years ago. I dated this woman. I didn't get any love from her, and I still
Mm,
stood until one day I said, okay, enough is enough. And I remember I took the rest of that year off. This was in 2020. And I took the
okay.
rest of the,
Mhm.
yeah. And I said, okay, this is perfect. I started reading and things like that. And I had gone to therapy years earlier, but I started
Mhm.
reading more and I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to get become a better version of myself and all that.
Mhm.
When you meet women that are, since you work with women and they're over 40, are they stuck or set in their ways? I can see you smiling. That it's hard for them to let go of the past, or if they used to a certain type of guy, that's the bad boy, and the nice guy they find too boring. Uh, Talk more about that, because I can see you just laughing, and my audience is going to see that too.
I'm laughing because yeah, it's very, very typical, especially for the women that I work with, who are women who
Yeah.
are a bit more successful in life, who kind of had their life figured out. And the default is to think, hey, I've got my finances figured out, I've got my career figured out, my
Mm,
kids are doing well, I'm great, I'm fit, I look good. Therefore, I know how to be in a relationship. And the truth is, most people don't, because there's no school. We didn't go anywhere to learn how to be in a
yeah.
relationship. So, in terms of taking responsibility and accountability, that's a really tough pill for a lot of people to swallow. And yeah, you saying taking accountability or responsibility for making the decision to be with a partner, that's one step. But then when I say to people, well, you attracted them, there's something about you that attracted
Mhm.
that type of person into your life. And if you take stock of your past few relationships, there's usually a pattern, which means that there's something about you. It could be unconsciously, it could just be something that's happening. You're not even aware. It could be part of your childhood trauma, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that is attracting these kind of people. And that's where I really like to focus on. Let's get to the bottom of why are you only attracting these kind of people. So even for ladies, I used to be one of those. I like the bad boys,
Yeah.
but there was something about me.
That's okay. That's okay.
This is something about me that just kept attracting the same type of bad boys. It was like this self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, well, I know that all men are horrible anyway. All men are going to cheat. All men are going to be this. And then it happens. And they're like, yeah, see, I told you.
Yeah.
Right. And so we have these things inside of us. We might be unaware of them, but these 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 behaviors and patterns keep attracting the same kind of people. So it's about getting really to the bottom of, why am I attracted to bad boys? Why do I like men who treat me like crap? Is it some sense of feeling unworthy? I know that that's one of the areas that I
Mm.
suffered from, right? Feeling unworthy. And it had to do with childhood abandonment. My parents were divorced, and all of the yucky stuff that happened to me as a kid,
Yeah.
right? And so that played out in my future relationships. And like I said, the self-fulfilling prophecy, where I was just constantly just waiting for it to go south, and south it went. And when I started to believe that I'm truly worthy, like I tell all my clients, you're worthy of love, of a high value man who's going to respect you, who's going to want to commit to you, who you don't have to keep trying to coerce or trying to fix. That's another
Right.
thing that a lot of my clients, because they're successful in their businesses or careers, they feel, I need to fix him. I'm
Mm.
in his life to make him better. And he should appreciate me for all that I bring to the table. Well, he didn't ask you to bring any of that to the table. And
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that your goal? Why do you want to fix someone? Right. So
It,
they forget the other part and then focus on, let's move things along. And then you get into that toxic masculine energy. It just doesn't work.
and you hit on something about fixing a man, because I've been through that a couple of times with some women.
Mhm,
Is it a motherly thing that they have, or they see something, maybe a potential in that man that they think they could upgrade? But if that guy is, let's say he's a 9 to 5 guy, or he has a small business, but he's happy. It makes him content. But then she tries to say, well, if we market, you could grow your business 10x. So Joan, I see you laughing, so I know you've been through it as a coach.
yeah.
Is it a motherly thing that the women is that they have, inside of them, that they're trying to help the man, or is it something that I'm missing, that I'm not seeing, that
Mhm,
why are they trying to fix the man?
mhm,
To have their ideal man that they're looking for?
mhm. Okay. So I used to be that woman.
Okay.
I used to be
Okay.
that fixer woman. I just thought, I'm going to make you the best possible version of yourself. But that's
Mm,
not my job. Like,
right.
most men are not looking for masculine women. And that's what it is. It's the masculine energy in the woman that's
Yeah.
forcing her to want to control, to manipulate the guy, to make him a version of herself. But that's not why you're in a relationship, right?
Mm,
So you're already a thriving, successful, entrepreneurial woman. Just let him be, or go find someone that matches what it is that you want. But what happens is, most of the women who are in their masculine energy, again, maybe not because they want it to be, maybe because they've been too alone for so long, they've had to pick up the slack and take care of their life and take care of themselves, take care of the kids, take care of their family members, whatever it is that has forced them into this dominant masculine energy
Yeah.
now plays out in relationships where now rather than treat the man like a partner, right? Like the man, it's more like, I'm going to make you or force you to be what I want you to be. But he
And
doesn't
that's
want
gonna,
that.
yeah, and he's gonna make the man miserable.
It's going to make him miserable. It's going to make him feel less of. Men want to be respected. They want you to be in awe of them. They want you to
Yeah.
say, I'm proud of you. Not, is that all you can do? 1x when you can make 10x? Like, no
Yeah.
man wants to hear that, right? They want someone who's going to nurture them, who's going to be supportive, not someone who's going to come and take charge, who's going to come and take control. There are men who like that, and that's okay. But as a woman and as a man, when you're choosing the partner that you want to be with, you need to be clear on what it is you're looking for. And when you get that, be okay with it. So a
Yeah.
lot of masculine women end up attracting feminine men because feminine men are looking for a masculine woman, a woman
Sure.
who's going to take charge. But then what happens is the masculine women get frustrated. Now there's a lot of resentment. I'm doing everything. You don't help me with anything. You're not smart enough. You're not this enough. You're not intelligent
Yeah.
enough. You're not
Yeah.
making enough money. Then the complaints start happening. Then they start trying to force the man to be more masculine. But you attracted a feminine man because all you're showing up in is your masculine energy. Masculine men want feminine
Right.
energy. They're not looking for boss lady energy. Leave your boss lady energy in the office. When you're at home, masculine men want nurturing feminine women.
Yeah, no, that's definitely 100%. And you hit it right on the head. There's a lot of, I've worked with women, I've hung out with women that got that masculine energy, and I'm like, okay, obviously after the pandemic or during the pandemic, I just started noticing more because of what I went through and all that. And I'm not saying that the woman uh, was masculine, maybe in some areas because she had to try to navigate her business to a man's world, so I guess
Mhm.
she picked up some habits of being around men. It was more for me of just not setting my boundaries. So I let that boundary get crossed over and over again. That I know she lost respect for me, and I lost respect for myself. I got to be honest with you there. So I think most, if not, well, most men definitely want a feminine woman that just, is not going to give you a tough time at home now that you have a tough time outside of the home,
Mhm.
so when you deal with a client, right, you deal with women over 40.
Mhm.
Now, one of the things I hear, and which I don't like, is when men typically say a woman hit the wall at 30. I don't know if you've been hearing that. Obviously, you have. And I see these podcasts, and I'm like, guys, come on, man. You guys making yourself look bad by saying, I mean, some of the women I know that are in their late 40s, early 50s look damn good.
Well, I'm
Um,
44.
yeah, no, you look great. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even guess that. I would have guessed 24. So, okay. Right. Maybe 28. Okay. Maybe 28. But no, seriously,
Mhm.
have women that you coach, have they felt that they think they might hit the wall, or, oh, I'm 40, where am I going to find love now? I'm older, I might have a kid, or I don't have any kids, I've been a boss babe all my life. Any
Mhm.
pushback
Yeah.
from to at you, that, oh no, I don't think I can find anyone at my age now that I'm 40, 41.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a mindset, right? And it's a mindset shift. So a lot of
Mm,
coaching work really is mindset. Because if you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're
mm,
on the dating apps thinking, oh, there's nobody here,
yeah.
there's nobody there.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. If you say, oh, there are no men, there are no men. There are no good men. There are no good men. But if you say, I'm worthy. I believe that there are many, many great men out there, many, many men who would be looking for someone like me. You
Yeah.
would find that you will start to attract those ones. Like I'm a big proponent of online dating, and I find that a lot of women over 40, my clients, they're pretty, no, I don't like this online dating thing. I don't like the dating apps and things and the losers. But I'm
Yeah.
like, that's the energy you're going into it with. I met my partner online. My partner before that, I met him online. The one before that, I met him online.
Okay.
I've met a lot of great people online. A lot of my clients have met a lot of great people online, right? So the mindset that you choose to tackle this dating thing with makes a world of difference. There is no scarcity of men or women.
Mm,
right? Like right now, there are more men who have never been married than women in the world. There are
right.
more men over 40 who have never been married than women. They are looking for partners.
Yeah.
So there is no scarcity. I think where the problem starts to, where there's a bit of a challenge is when people are delusional about what they want.
I was going to interject a little bit. Have women set their standards too high that 99.999 men can't get
Exactly.
to?
Exactly. And I had a friend, God bless her, she's amazing, but she had really, really high standards for what she was looking for in a man, right? 5-bedroom house, a vacation home in 3 different countries, a yacht,
Oh,
a 60-foot
geez.
yacht, this. I'm like, okay, yeah, she's in her 50s. I'm like, okay, a man who has all of that, who's that well accomplished and has all that money, he's not looking for a 50-something-year-old,
Yeah.
right? If he's divorced and his kids are all grown, he's looking for a 25-year-old.
Right, right,
Because at
right.
this point, he just wants to enjoy his life. So I say, let's be realistic, right? And let's focus less on, I know physical is great and money is great, but it's more on the values, because those things, they're not always going to be, there's no guarantees that any of those things are going to be there forever. So
Right.
how about you focus on the values, the core values of the person, the things that really, really matter to you, how you want to be treated, how you want to feel around this person, how does this person make you feel, right?
Mm,
How about you focus on that first, and then you can start to look at the packaging. Oh, he's 6'4", he has a six-pack, whatever, muscles, and okay, those are just nice to have.
yeah.
But the main things are core values. What are your core values, and what are the complementing core values that will help you as a person, male or female, be the highest version of yourself? Because that's what the relationship is all about. You want a person who's going to help you be the best version of yourself, not someone who's coming to complete your life or to do XYZ or tick whatever boxes you want.
Yeah.
No, you want to give love, receive love, and both of you can keep growing. So I coach my clients, let's do selections based on core values. Let's just leave all these 6'4", size 13
Yeah.
shoes, like I've heard it all. Like you'll be surprised. I've heard it all. The list is, yeah, interesting stuff out there.
And I seen this online where a woman says a man has to make. I saw one that a man needs to have $60 million. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
$60 million. I'm like, that's like 0.000.
Zero, zero.
Yeah, it just. I mean, my God, and
And
like you
and that,
said,
and that kind of man is looking for a supermodel. Like, why would he want to think? Why would he settle for regular folk?
yeah, and to me, when I see this online,
Hmm.
a man that makes that much or has that much, he's in control. He's gonna do, like you said, he's gonna do whatever he wants. And no woman, or even unless he has a boss that makes more than him, he's in control. So, okay, so Joan, you meet a woman, she's 40, she's been through a divorce, maybe no kids, one kid. So what's the criteria you start looking for? Like, is there something that they got to fill out? You ask them questions. Like, what's the criteria that you look for in a client, in a
Hmm.
potential client?
In a potential client.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to work with people who are ready to date. So people who have healed from their past relationship and trauma
Yeah.
and are ready to date and really believe in love and in finding their second chance love. There's no point coming to me and constantly saying, "Oh, I don't believe I can get married again. Oh, it's not possible. Most people I know are still single." Like it defeats the whole
Yeah.
purpose. So it's got to be someone who's healed. You're not coming to me to bitch about your ex relationship and your partner and how he's doing this and doing that. We're moving on. So it's people who are ready to move forward, who are ready to find their second love, who believe that it's possible. And even if you don't believe, but at
Yeah.
least you're hoping to some extent that it is possible, then yes, I want to work with you. I want to work with people who are ready to put in the work, to know that a lot of the work is self. Like
Yeah.
the work is not just Joan match. I used to get a lot of people say that to me. Oh, just introduce me to men. I'm like, it's still not going to work,
Yeah.
right? Because you need to fix the vessel. You need to work on yourself. That's the main work, is you working on yourself, really getting that clarity. Like I said, the mindset. There's 3 pillars I work with them on. The mindset. Let's get the feminine energy, the goddess mindset going. Let's make sure that you're in the right energy to be able to attract the kind of man that you want. And then the second pillar is, what is your ideal man? And don't tell me a 60 million earner with the 60-foot yacht boat and no. Core values. What are your core values? What are his?
Yeah.
core values? What are the complementing? What are your deal breakers? What are your boundaries? Let's start to really get clarity on what your ideal man looks like. Yes, you can have some physical attributes because some of us have things that we're more attracted to. That's fine. But if
Yeah.
that's your entire list, we have a problem. So let's focus on the things that are really, really key. And the third is, like I was alluding to initially, people don't know how to date, right? So you might meet an amazing match. You go on a date, ghosted, and it's so easy to say, oh, it's him. Like he didn't know what he wanted. He just came to play.
Right. Right.
No, maybe you didn't show up the right way. Maybe you showed up in your bus lady energy with a black suit and looking all stern and interrogating him and like ghosted, right? So
Yeah.
the third part is really, what is your dating strategy? How can we create something that's going to work for you and your lifestyle, for the type of person that you're trying to meet, the kind of man that you desire? How do you need to show up? How
Yeah.
do you need to interact? How do you communicate? How do you nurture relationships? It's one thing to go on one date, which is most of my clients, one date and that's it. Multiple dates that never lead to anything, or people just in a situationship, months are going on and the man's just not willing to move the relationship to the next level.
Right.
So it's really understanding how to date the dating process and how to move that and nurture it into the next level. Because my goal is to get people married again.
Yeah, no, no, I definitely, excuse me, I definitely get that. And I think, like I said, I know some men also that are in their, some of my buddies that are in their 40s and 50s, and they have standards for these women that oh, I don't want to date anyone that's over 35, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to do that, you better come with more than just, your
I'm a
looks.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because if you're 55 and she's 35, she's still gonna want to
She's got
maybe
needs.
hang
Yeah.
out. She
Yeah.
still might want to hang out with her friends. Oh no, she should get that out of her system. Well, some women don't. So I think some men, some of the guys I know,
Mm.
their standards are like up there, and I'm like, geez. So Joan, and we talk about Joan Nwosu, dating for women in their 40s after a divorce. So
Mhm.
Joan, has chivalry gone out the door? Because it seems that some women, because they call themselves independent, they don't need a man. And when a man opens a door, some women are like, oh, I can open my own door. I mean, I work with someone that I opened the door for her, and she said she wasn't even used to that. I'm like, I'm just opening a door, I'm
Mhm.
just being nice,
Mhm.
Have some women gotten to the point where they think chivalry is dead?
Yes,
Okay.
but it doesn't mean it is.
Right.
That's just your
Maybe,
mindset or
right.
your
Their
opinion.
perception. Yeah.
It is your perception. And for me, I wouldn't say we never really met men who would open the door, but I wanted to open my own door. Like I wanted
Right.
to, like
Yeah.
again, because I was in that masculine energy.
Sure.
And I find that when I mean my masculine energy, my partner is not, he's not, he doesn't want to do those things for me. He just lets me get on with whatever it is I'm doing.
Right.
Right. And now I'm aware, so I can catch it. So if I know how to change my energy to get that, where he's like, oh, let me do that. Oh, no, you can't do that. I'll do that for you. I'll do that. And I love it. For a long time, I thought, no, 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 I'm an independent woman. I want to do my own. I want to fix, I want to change light bulbs. I want to take my car to that. No, I don't. No,
Right.
no, I don't. I
Yeah.
I really don't.
Right.
And a
Right.
lot of the women I work with, even though when they first start working with me, they're like, no, I got my stuff together. I can do it myself. I don't need a man to do that for me. I don't need to. But as we keep working together, they start saying, you know what, I'm tired. Like
Yeah.
I want a man who would just say, come here, let me hold you. Come take a hug. Okay, let me just massage you. If you don't worry, I got dinner, I got this, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. They want that. A lot of women are desiring that. But I think
Mhm.
this whole feminine movement or whatever it is, a
Yeah.
lot of women are just not, they're not comfortable or courageous to admit that they really want this, that they really want a man who's going to take charge and take care of them and provide for them so that they can feel safe and soft. I think my default is soft. But for a long time, I was boss lady. Like people used to call me boss lady,
Right.
and I owned it.
I was gonna
Right?
say, how much did you
I
love
would
that?
never wear pink. I would never, like 5 years ago, I would never wear pink.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, but you had self-awareness.
Uh-huh.
You took stock of yourself and all that. So, I mean, first of all, Joan, I want to thank you so much for being on People on Dating. My God, I definitely learned a lot. And before I let you go, just a couple more things.
Mhm.
Um, so say to my audience or just in general
Mhm.
about women over 40 that it's not over. Just, if you could like give a word of encouragement.
It is not over. Like, if you don't believe anything, if you don't have faith on your own, have faith in my story. I
Yeah.
met my partner less than a year ago. I met him in March of last year. 4 weeks later, he proposed for the first time.
Wow.
8 months later, he reproposed with a
Right.
diamond ring.
Yeah.
It is possible. I'm in my 40s. It is not that difficult. There are wonderful, masculine, high value, high quality men out there that are looking for women just like you. You're not too old. You're never too old for love. Love is available for each and every one of us. And we all deserve to have a partner that completes us, that makes us feel whole, feel safe. The yin to your yang, where every day is just a joy to wake up
Yeah.
with a person. It is possible, but you have to believe it first.
No, I think that's a great message. And
Mm.
I want to add to that. So let's say if once you get a client and all that, and if a woman tells you, "Hey, I met some guys on dating apps, but where would be other places that a woman after they work with you can meet a man?
Mhm.
Are there social events you would recommend,
Yeah.
or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of social events, right? Join Meetup, meetup.com. There's a lot of events out there, local
100%.
events,
Yeah.
right? You can pick up a sporting activity or hobby, go hiking, join a traveling club, things that you have in common. Because if you don't have something in common with a partner, there's nothing that's going to keep things exciting.
Mm.
So that's a good place. You already know that they like traveling. So that's an easy conversation starter. Also, in your workplace. I know some people frown at work love, like, no, I don't want to make, no. In your office, it doesn't have to be someone who works on your team, right?
Isn't that a little dangerous though? Go ahead. No, no, I'm playing the devil's advocate just a little bit.
Look, I had a work relationship that, oh my God, disaster. But I've
Okay.
seen other people do it really, really well. I think the key is, as long as the person is not too close, you're not in the same physical office,
Yeah, I
maybe
agree.
you're on different floors, you're not in the same team, you're not in the same department, then it's easier to navigate. But a lot of office events are good places to meet people. The things I would not recommend is paying for a matchmaking service, only because I tried it. I tried it at a point where I hadn't done the work on myself. So it was just wasted money. Like,
Okay.
I had to pay $2,500. The men paid $10,000 for their annual membership. And even though I went on dates, the results were still the same, still ghosted, right? Because I hadn't done the work. So I would say, make sure you done the fixing of yourself first before you start spending thousands and thousands of dollars on matchmaking services.
No, no,
But yes,
that's good.
social events, be out there. You got to be out there. Like, I wish the delivery boy would just be the person, but that's not how it works. You have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, no, no. I'll definitely put that on the shows about meetup.com because I'm 100% with you. I've done those events and I always have a great time and I meet
Yeah.
wonderful women.
Mhm.
Talk more about your podcast and your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So my podcast, so I do have a daily podcast. It's called the Second Chances podcast. And it's a journey of my own story and tips and lessons that you can learn as I learn daily. That's why it's a daily podcast. It's really quick. It's 5 to 10 minutes per episode. And it's just insights and tips that can help you on your journey as well. Like I said, a lot of this is it's just conditioning, it's just experiences that we've been through. Sometimes you need to hear someone else say it, you need to hear someone else go through the experience where you be like, that's what I should have done differently, or maybe I should try that next time. So my podcast is a great way to just get daily tips on your next dating game, because we want to crush it in 2024. We're getting everybody married this year.
Okay, there you go. I like that. I like that. I like that confidence and mindset from Joan. Talk more about your coaching.
Yes. So my coaching is a 12-week coaching program, like I said, for women over 40 who are divorced and are ready to find their second chance love. You got to be looking for a long-term committed relationship. Those are the people I want to work with. You have to be an action taker. You have to be ready to do the work. It's a lot of inner work to get this done. But I'm confident that if you do the right work and you take the right steps, you will find your soulmate in record time. It is possible. The men are available. I will show you everything from mindset to how to figure out what your ideal man should be. and your dating strategy. Learning how to date is so key. And of course, how to nurture relationships. So
Yeah,
yes, 12 weeks program, and you can check it out on my website, my name, joannwosu.com. All the information is out there.
yeah, I'll definitely put that in the show notes. And talk about your ebook. I know you have an ebook.
Yes. So the ebook is the story of Jasmine. And Jasmine, like most of my clients, successful woman, 2 kids, divorced, boss lady energy. She has life all figured out, but same story, cannot get a high value man to save her life. She's frustrated. She's trying to go through the process on her own and just isn't able to. So I'm a Jasmine. I see Jasmine in me in Jasmine, and a lot of the women that I work with.
Yeah.
So the story of Jasmine, a lot of women resonate with it, but it's just the steps that you need to take. And even if you only got that free ebook, it will help you along the journey for you to recognize the areas, maybe be a mirror, so you can recognize the areas that maybe you were not even aware. Maybe you didn't even know why things are just happening, why you're not able to attract high value men, why you keep trying to fix men up. You can start to take action because the ebook does have steps, actionable steps to help you attract your dream man.
No, sounds good. And if somebody want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media. It's all Joan Nwosu, and my website is joannwosu.com. I think that's it. So socials, email, you can find me.
Yeah, I'll definitely put that on the show notes. Again, Joan, first of all, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. I had a great time with you. I could probably talk to you for another hour, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you so much, William. This was so much fun. And
All right.
thank you for having
No,
me.
my pleasure. Bye-bye.
Mhm.